What's happening? It's your boy, the Boxing Lowdown here. Thought I'd jump on a live today, talk about a few things that was on my mind, and yeah, no point me doing it in like a video or anything like that. I thought let me just actually go live, hopefully catch a few people on here. I think, do you know what? I think what I might do is maybe go live on my own on a Thursday, or bring in a guest. It's up to you, and then keep the pod with Laurie on a Monday. I might do that. So yeah, maybe go live twice a week. Come on here on a Thursday on my own, or bring someone in, whatever. And then on the Monday, do the pod with Laurie, catch up after the fights and so on. Get the immediate reaction then, rather than drag it out till the Thursday. But let me know what you guys think about that idea anyway. Shout out to everyone, man. I didn't have this planned or anything, so I'm not expecting too many people in. However, those of you that join, you know what to do already. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let's get cooking, man. Join our community if you're new here, man. We've got a great load of people that will come in live and love to chop it up, talk some great boxing on here. So, yeah, if you're new, feel free to join our community, man. We've got a great load of people in the comments. So shout out to all you guys. But big up to everyone, first of all. I see my guy DS in the building. What's going on, bro? He's put here Virgil Ortiz and Michael McKinson, August the 6th. Is that confirmed? Is that all confirmed? I'm not sure. Is that confirmed for sure? It must be if you're putting it in there. August the 6th, Texas. Yeah, because obviously Virgil Ortiz was supposed to fight Avanesian. You know, that was looking, I was really excited about that. But fair play to McKinson for getting himself back in there, man. He was supposed to fight Virgil Ortiz before. So Eddie Hearn did say in the interview that they will try and remake that fight. And fair play. Fair play. It's going to be a tall order, man, for McKinson. Even though I do rate him, Ortiz is one of the best guys out there, best young guys out there for sure. So it's going to be a tall ass, man. But let him have the opportunity. Let McKinson have the opportunity, man. He was supposed to fight him already. He still fought on the undercard that night. Yeah, it didn't go down too well with the fans out there. But listen, give him his chance, man. Not a lot of people are calling out McKinson. So let him go and fight Virgil Ortiz, man. Make his money. And hopefully it goes well for him. Big up everyone in the chat. Harvey, I see you, brother. Francisco, I see you, bro. I haven't caught up with that documentary yet, but I will catch up on that later on at some point today. The Shane Mosley one, the interview with Eric Morales. That must be a very good interview for sure. DS has said here, Michael Benson's reporting it. Cool. So yeah, if you guys missed it, all I said was that I'm going to try and go on a Thursday, probably on my own, or if I could get a guest like Ade or someone like that, maybe try and bring them on. And then on the Monday, I'll have the show with Laurie. So that's going to be my plan, I think, going forward. We'll see how that goes. If you guys got any feedback, let me know. And then, yeah, we'll work with it. But I wanted to talk about a few things today, man. And let me start off with this whole Usyk and AJ situation. Because, again, Eddie's kind of put himself in the mud here a little bit. I watched that interview with Coogan last week. I'm sure a few of you guys did. Harvey, if you're in the chat, I know you saw it. A few of you guys would have seen that interview there where Eddie Hearn said that there's no more blocks. There's nothing else getting in the way of this fight. We're going to get an announcement early next week. And this is what he said last week. So early next week. So that means Monday or Tuesday. Because when you hit Wednesday, that's midweek. And then Thursday, like today, that's late week, and Friday, so on. So listen, I've got no doubt that the fight will, will happen. But we've been here before, haven't we? Do you know what I mean? We have been here before with the whole Fury and AJ situation. Whether you want to blame Hearn or not, or attribute how much of the blame to him for that, you know, he even admitted it himself. He can be his own worst enemy sometimes with his mouth. Says a lot of things and then it doesn't really happen. I just think that, at the end of the day, the fight will happen, but it's, you're putting yourself out there for criticism when you say, yeah, it's going to be announced early. We're going to get this early next week. And then it's not announced because you're opening the door for people to come out and criticize you. So, listen, I still think it's going to happen. He did say that we would get confirmed broadcaster for AJ's next few fights. That will be DAZN. However, I saw today online that Gareth A. Davis, again, I don't know how much I trust that source, but it was from the Telegraph. He said that the fight between Usyk and AJ was still able to be put on, it could go on Sky, it could go on any broadcaster. So I'm not sure. I haven't read the article, but I saw that not long before I jumped on. So listen, the way how it is, it'll probably get announced tonight, Usyk and AJ, the way how it is, me putting out a video about it, asking what the holdup is. And then, I could imagine it being announced later on. But yeah, the whole DAZN, where it's going to be shown, I thought that it was a lock. on DAZN if AJ was going to sign a multi-fight deal with them. Where did he get that information from about it possibly going back on Sky, this fight? Very strange, but I'll see what you guys say in the comments, what you guys are talking about it. Francisco talking about Avenetian, missed the opportunity there. Missed the opportunity. What was the reason that he pulled out? What was the actual reason of that he pulled out? Diaz has said here, Eddie guaranteed us Monday, Tuesday. It's now Thursday, exactly. Ash has said here, why do people still listen to Eddie and his timings of announcements? Never listen to him. You got a point, bro. It is what it is, like you said. Harvey can't say he's surprised. Undisputed won't happen till February, April next year. Joyce and Hammer, yeah, we spoke about that. Joyce and Christian Hammer confirmed. We spoke about that on the show earlier on this week. But what is going on with the whole? I'm gonna have to read the article, man. You know what? While we're here, you know what? Let's just freestyle a little bit, man. While we're here, let me bring this article up about AJ and Usyk, written by your boy Gareth A. Davis, man. Since we're here, no, that's not the right article. That's where did I see it? It was on Twitter. I saw the whole Gareth A. Davis thing. Let's see. We grab this up, guys. So, is it the Times or Telegraph? Yeah, that's what he writes for. Find this article, man. I probably should have had it saved, but like I said, it's just literally me going off the cuff here. So that was on June the 12th, so it's not that. See what you guys are saying. Harvey, in the meantime, Harvey says here, are you happy with DAZN, Daryl, or were you not bothered who he picked? I weren't bothered, to be fair, Harvey, man. If I'm honest, like I'm not. I get why AJ's gone with DAZN. You know, like it, because apparently he's got a bit more. Like it's not just a deal. I think he has. He's got a bit more to it than just like, you know, having the deal with DAZN. Like I think he might have. Is he not some shares or anything? But I think he has more of a say in terms of like what is done. So maybe that might involve his promotional company 258. I don't know, but yeah, to be fair, for me, I just want to see them happen. I'm not really bothered, you know, what else where if it's on Sky, whether it's on like DAZN or not. I've got both, so yeah, I think that as long as we just see the fight, man, that's all that matters to me. Let me share my screen here. I think I got it now. Yeah, right here, so you guys can see. You need a subscription to actually go on the Telegraph on their app. I think Everything Boxing might have said something about it on his page. See what he says here. Can't see. There's nothing interesting here. Okay, you know what? Forget it. It's not that deep. But anyway, it is what it is. If it's on Sky or DAZN, it doesn't matter to me. You know, I just want to see the fight. I'm just wondering why it hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm sure it will be confirmed soon. But like I said, we've been here before with this situation where we've been told that fight is going to be confirmed. One more week, we were told. Just a couple more days, and you know, we're still waiting on edge. I've seen big up Will. By the way, Will is someone that's really, every time I see him on Twitter, he's asking when is that fight going to be confirmed, man. But I think we all know what it's going to be. Do you know what I mean? I think we all know that it's going to take place in Saudi Arabia. I think we all know that it's going to be in the middle of August, and it's going to be on DAZN. I think we all know that. We're just waiting for the confirmation, aren't we? So, yeah, it is what it is, man. Londoner in the Sticks, big up. He's put here, don't know what's more reliable at the moment. Eddie's time estimations for fight announcements or Fury's retirement. We're going to get onto that whole Fury retirement thing, man. I mean, most of us knew. Most of us did know. Do you know what I mean? That like that wasn't serious. Fury, he just chats a lot. Do you know what I mean? Some people like it. Some people, they say, oh, he's just conning the public. He's just conning, the media. He's just playing about with them, got them on strings and whatever. To me, I just think I think it's just a bit boring. I think it's corny. Do you know what I mean? Some people will look at it as, Fury's just being a character. But for me, I just think it's corny at this stage, man. Like, we know you're not thinking about retiring, bro. If you were retired, you were going to give up the belt. You didn't do it. So, the real people knew that you weren't going anywhere. But listen, if you want to carry it on and just, play the game, then play the game. It's fine. Some people will believe it, but 90% of people don't. So, yeah. Ash said here, thoughts on Fury Hunter? Yeah, of course. Fury pulled out of that fight, cited an illness. I won't tell you what Laurie messaged me on that. But, yeah, it's not the first time Fury has pulled out of a fight. Michael Hunter seems willing to get in the smoke with anyone. He said he'd even willing to be dropped down to cruiserweight and fight Tommy Fury. He said he wants a Fury right now. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't overly hyped about the fight anyway, if I'm being really honest. But yeah, I still would like to see it. I think Michael Hunter, man, he's got some redemption to do because he was, figured highly in my opinion. And that kind of dropped off a bit over the last year or so in and out the ring in terms of like not fighting, Hergovich. We thought that would happen. He passed on that. And then his fight in the rematch against that, what was his name? Jerry Forrest, looked terrible in that. So, yeah, the Fury fight, it's might not be great on the eye, could be a bit ugly, but I still would have liked to have seen it. Definitely. I would have watched it, of course. So, yeah, I do like the fight. And hopefully, yeah, we do get to see that, get rescheduled at some point. I think it will. Fury's dad basically said that, if they will reschedule it, he's just battling an illness. So, let's see. Big up Ash. He said he likes the format. Yeah, man, we'll try and do this twice a week, man, for sure. He's also said here, how anyone actually likes Tyson Fury is beyond me. IB has said here, I hope you're enjoying the heat, Daryl. We'll catch up later. Listen, bro, I'm going to do this live and then I'm going to go out. I've been locked in my house all day doing work and I need to get out before the sun goes down. So, yeah, thought I'd get this live in first. But anyway, back to my last thoughts on the whole Usyk and AJ thing. So, yeah, I mean, even though we haven't got an announcement, don't know what's going on, I'm sure that it will be announced at some point. But again, you just don't know. If it doesn't get announced in the next few days, then Eddie knows that the next interview that he has, he's going to get a lot of heat for it. So knowing my luck, it'll probably get announced tonight while we're on the stream. Somebody's probably going to be like, oh, Daryl has just been announced. So I do think it will, for the record. I do think it will get announced. But yeah, Eddie doesn't help himself when, he comes out and he makes all these bold claims and, he doesn't see them through. Like early next week, that's literally Monday or Tuesday. No hurdles. That's what he said. No hurdles, no nothing. And we still haven't got it. And it's Thursday evening. So, yeah, make of that what you will. With the rematch, though, man, I'm seeing a lot of people that are starting to believe that AJ has more of a chance. When it was first, announced that AJ and Usyk were going to have the rematch, there was a lot of people out there that thought that, it was only going to go one way, same as the first fight. But I think now, as we're getting a bit closer to the rematch being announced, there is more people out there that feel AJ can do it. Maybe it's because he's got the changes in his team. I don't know. Maybe he just needed the rest, the time out. But, that we do know there has been a bad situation going over there in Ukraine. Maybe that swayed opinion. But, it's been interesting to see, the dynamic, the way how people are starting to feel that AJ has more of a chance now. I'm still going with Usyk. I still think that Usyk will be the favorite for me. I think he beat AJ pretty comprehensively in the first fight, but AJ does have the tools to win. Even though he didn't win that first fight, look at the damage that he did to Usyk's face. Do you know what I mean? And AJ was very poor that night, so he can step it up. He's going to have to do what he needs to do. He's going to have Garcia in his corner. We know that he can't be, sitting on his laurels too much, trying to outthink Usyk. So we'll see how it goes, man. The Saudi Arabia thing will be interesting. Obviously, they'll get their money's worth. But AJ won't have the huge crowd behind him. He won't have, the crowd to kind of see him through. It doesn't really matter with Usyk anyway because he fights anywhere. But, yeah, I'm guessing it'll be more of a muted type of atmosphere in the arena there. It's not going to be loud like, the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or Wembley or the O2. So we'll see. It will be interesting. But I think that the neutral ground favours Usyk even more, in my opinion. But a lot of people are going to ask where his head's at. Do you know what I mean? There is the war going on in Ukraine right now. He was on the front line for a little while. That is obviously going to be going through his head. So let's see. Let's see, man. Asher said here, can you and Laurie rewatch the fight before fight week? I have, and see real openings for AJ if the game plan is correct. Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely do that, Ash. DS has said here, Monday and Thursdays are ideal. Mondays are great to dissect the previous weekend fights, and Thursday to do the upcoming fights. You're right, because you know what? I found out on Monday is like, because Laurie likes to go, like when he talks on a topic, he will elaborate on it. So I'm like, I only had like an hour last week. We ended up doing it for an hour and 15. But yeah, I just thought that it's better to do that, have it in that format, and then, you know, maybe look ahead to this weekend's fights on the Thursday, or, you know, have more time to discuss the previous weekend fights on the Monday. So yeah, I'm going to do that, bro. And shout out to everyone for the feedback. I appreciate it. Bolotov has said here, as much as I hate to say it, I think we all have to admit AJ isn't as good as we all thought he could be. Interesting. Well, I mean, he's had a successful career, no doubt about it. Two-time heavyweight champion, has fought a lot of the good guys out there. Do you know what I mean? In terms of resume, you can't deny he's not afraid of anyone. I think he'll fight anyone. And I think he's proven that. You know, if he was to retire after this fight here, if he was to lose against Usyk and retire, he still had a great career, man. He still had a great career. He's made his money, made serious amount of money. He was a superstar over here in the UK. You know, won a medal at the Olympics, gold medal at the Olympics. As a pro career, two-time heavyweight champion. I mean, like, how good do you think he could have been, Bolotov? Are you talking about all-time great status? Because if you are, then of course, yeah, AJ's not. He ain't hit that yet. He's not hit that. So I don't know if that's what you had in mind for him. But if he was just to go off, you know, having a successful career, he's had a great career in terms of the money that he's made. Hasn't taken too much punishment. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I guess it's what you define as, you know, as good as you thought he would have been. Asher said here, if AJ has underachieved, he's had a phenomenal career. DS said here, the more I think about it, the more I'm unsure about having Garcia and Fernandez in his corner. He emphasizes the and. If he was completely sure about Fernandez, why go and get Robert Garcia? Yeah, I mean, I think time will tell, man. I think that Robert Garcia is a good voice to have. His experience, I think he's a good addition to the team. Will there be a clash of egos in there? I don't think so, because Fernandez was kind of like the second before, wasn't he? When Rob McCracken was there. So I think it's all about knowing your role, really. Like, everyone's got a role to play. Who's in the corner? Is there going to be two people talking at you? Is it going to be one person? You know, I'm sure that is something that he's going to have a look at. But when I think about it, man, AJ's took a long time to assemble a training team. We all knew that he was moving on from Rob McCracken. How long ago was that? That we knew, literally straight after that fight. Bear with me. Get some water, guys. Literally straight after that fight with Usyk, we knew that AJ was going to leave Rob McCracken. He's took a long time, gone over to America, scouted, you know, worked with different trainers, spoke with them, and this is the route that he's chosen. So yeah, it would have been ideal to have an interim fight in between. I mean, that fight was back in September time, AJ and Usyk. So yeah, it would have been ideal. But listen, man, he's going to jump straight in the fire, and we'll see how it goes. Personally, I still don't think it'll be enough to beat Usyk in the rematch, but he's definitely got a chance. And I do like Robert Garcia, man. He's trained a whole host of great fighters, like trained Marcos Maidana, his brother Mikey Garcia, Fernando Vargas, one of my favorite fighters of all time. You know, it's a great gym over there. So, you know, DS, you know that anyway. He's got the experience, but yeah, we'll see how it goes, man. But I'm just waiting for this announcement. Bolotov has said here, he's really good. I'm not saying that, but he could have been an all-time great. Fair enough. And DS said, I would have rather seen AJ go completely with Garcia and go out to the States. Fair enough. We'll see how that works out, man. But yeah, still no announcement with Usyk and AJ too. I'm guessing we'll get an announcement at some point this week, but you never know. Staying in line with the heavyweight division. Talk about your boy Tyson Fury, man. He did an interview with, was it? I was going to say the Lowdown. That is what it's called. It's called the Lowdown, isn't it? Unibet Lowdown. I remember going back at it with Dev about the name of that account, but luckily that's been changed now. So yeah, listen, good interview over there. I didn't watch all of it, to be honest, but I did see the bits that I was supposed to see. The main talking point from that interview was about Fury unretiring. He basically said that, you know, it would cost him $500 million to come out of retirement to fight Usyk if he was to beat AJ again. Now, if AJ was to beat Usyk again, then I don't think we'd even be having to worry about Fury retiring or unretiring anyway. He'd jump straight into that fight with AJ. But if Usyk was to win, a lot of people are saying, you know, Fury don't really have the same energy. He's calling him a middleweight. He's saying he don't want to fight him. There's no money in it. And now he's come out and said he will fight Usyk if he's given $500 million. Sounds like the guy's pricing himself out to me. Do you know what I mean? Because I never believed the retirement claims in the first place. And you know you're not going to get that amount of money to fight Alexander Usyk. So why would you not want to, you know, this guy's got 3 of the 4 belts. You've got 1 belt. Okay, you have won all the belts at one point, but not at the same time. And, you know, the fight with Usyk that's the fight that you want. You know, both you guys are unbeaten. Both you guys will be recognized as the 2 best heavyweights in the division. It's for undisputed. We're seeing a lot of undisputed fights take place now. You know, we don't mention that often enough, to be fair. We used to complain about that quite a lot, but we have had quite a few undisputed title fights. Junior middleweight, Jamel Charlo, we've had that. Light welterweight, Josh Taylor. Lightweight, Devin Haney. Do you know what I mean? We had it with cruiserweight with Alexander Usyk at the time. Terence Crawford was undisputed. So we are starting to get the undisputed fights. Him and Errol Spence look like they're going to get it on this year for undisputed. So we are getting more of these fights now. But heavyweight is the one we want. Heavyweight is the division. That is the glamour division. And yeah, while we all wanted the AJ and Fury fight for undisputed, it would have made sense. It was just a huge fight for us over here in the UK. Didn't get to happen. We still got the opportunity for that to happen if, you know, AJ was to win. Or even if Usyk wins, you know, there is still the possibility. There's not much getting in the way of that. Top Rank and, you know, Top Rank and who's Usyk with now? I don't know who's Usyk with. Usyk, he's not with Eddie Hearn, is he? Is he with K2 Promotion still? Is they're just on their own? So that fight wouldn't be hard to make. Let's just say that. So when Fury's coming out and saying, oh, I'm going to need $500 million, you know that fight ain't going to make $500 million. So, yeah, for me, it just sounds like he's pricing himself up. But can you believe anything that Fury says anyway? He says one thing, he does another. It is what it is, man. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see them two get it on. I think it's an interesting fight. I'd prefer Fury and AJ, of course, if I was being real. But it's still an interesting fight. You know, Usyk has the footwork, he has the skill set. He can trouble Fury, even though he's a lot smaller. That's a difficult fight for Tyson Fury. And a lot of people, like what Harvey's saying here, he's saying it's clear that Fury doesn't want Usyk. He never has. A lot of people are starting to come out and say that now. Fury's not going to be bothered by that. But, you know, it's an interesting fight and it's for all the belts, man. But we'll see. Asher said here, I could never watch 30 minutes of Frank Warren and Tyson Fury. DS has said here, I watched the AJ Usyk fight again, and the first 8 rounds are closer than I originally thought. Going into the 9th, I had Usyk up by only a round. I'm going to have to watch this fight again. I'm going to have to watch this again because I swear when I watched that, I was just like, at that point, I'm thinking AJ might need to stop it. He might need to knock him down at least. So I'm going to have to watch that again. Asher said here, I had Usyk level after 8. Okay, you know what? He's saying it weren't that bad. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch that. I think at the time, I was doing a watch-along in the studio. And from what I saw, it just looked like, I don't know, guys. From what I saw, I was pretty convinced that Usyk was pretty far up, even at that point. He did pull away later on, and he nearly stopped AJ in the 12th. But we'll see. I'll watch that again. I'll definitely watch that again. It does come down to his mindset and his heart on the night. Will AJ get the credit if he was to beat Usyk? Do you know what I mean? Like, will he get all the credit? Or will people come out and say, you know, he only won because of, you know, the distractions that's going on, you know, the war in Ukraine right now? You know, will that come into play? You know, that was mentioned by a few people. Would AJ get the full credit if he wins? Would he get the full credit for you if he wins? Let me know. Let me know. But as for Fury, I've had enough of the nonsense, man, if I'm being honest. We know he's not retiring. If he was retiring, he would have given up the belt. Hasn't done it. And he said in that interview that I'm going to hold on to the belt. I don't care. I've made my mandatory defenses and whatever. So he's not retired. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it a buck, man. He's not retired. He's waiting to see what happens in AJ and Usyk, and hopefully whoever wins it, the pressure is put on for those two to fight. But Fury can kind of do what he wants now because he's made mandatory defenses of that belt. So the WBC are not going to pressure him into fighting anyone anytime soon. So let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. He's not going to retire. So that could be a possibility. Let's just hope that that fight gets announced at some point, this week. AJ and Usyk too. Let's go to your comments here. Harvey has said here, I had it 5-3 after 8 for Usyk. That sounds more kind of in line what I'm thinking. So around 5-3. But then I think I had that fight 9-3 altogether. So did Usyk sweep the last? Did he sweep the last rounds for you, Harvey? Last 4 rounds from 9 onwards? Yeah, let me know. But yeah, I mean, some of you guys here, you're saying it, man. You're feeling like AJ's got more of a chance. I think he's definitely got a chance. I just think that Usyk, I think he's just going to be even more switched on. And I just think that he might even, he's been in the ring with AJ already. And we all talk about what AJ can do to improve, but Usyk can improve too. Do you know what I mean? And that's a worrying thought for AJ, man, because if he steps it up as well, then yeah, it could be an issue for AJ for sure. Let's talk about the fight this weekend, man. Anthony Yarde going to be attending the fight between Artur Beterbiev and Joe Smith Jr. Really looking forward to that fight. Obviously, with Beterbiev and Smith Jr. now, they're not the trash talkers. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to be out here saying they're going to do this to each other, do that. Joe Smith Jr., blue collar fighter, come up the hard way. I really respect his graft and his hustle, man. He came from nothing. Do you know what I mean? And he's put himself in this position, world champion, and he's earned his position. Going up against Beterbiev, though, man, I have to say, Beterbiev, for me, one of my favorite fighters out there, man. I love watching the guy. And we all talk about his power, right? We all talk about, how strong he is and his punching power, but the guy's got so much more than that. And, like, I just don't think he gets, in my opinion, I don't know what you guys think, but in my opinion, I don't think he gets as much respect as he should get amongst the boxing peers, man. I don't. I don't see him on many pound-for-pound lists. He's definitely on mine, but I don't see him on many of them. And if he's not on yours, tell me why. Tell me why he's not on there. Because for me, he's got the skill set. He's had a great amateur career. I know that don't count for the pros in pound-for-pound list, but I'm just saying, great amateur career, great fundamentals, tough, strong. Punching power is, he's a monster in the ring. Marcus Brown, that fight showed me even more how much of a monster he is. It was a horrible cut. It was one of those cuts where I was just literally looking at it and like, you kind of like, oh, that's a tough cut. Like on his forehead, head split open, and then he just battered Marcus Brown throughout. And Marcus Brown's he's not no cakewalk. I know he's not on Beterbiev's level, but like, that was impressive to me because it was a serious cut. The fight was in danger of getting stopped. Beterbiev rolled through him, absolutely rolled through him, stepped it up when he needed to. Alexander Vostik, quality fighter, man. He was a guy that was many people tipped to beat Beterbiev. They thought that he was going to outbox him. Not only did Beterbiev beat the hell out of him, the guy never fought again. Went to hospital, never fought again after that. Beterbiev's in my power. He's the best light heavyweight in the world. Light heavyweight is like the top division, one of the better divisions in boxing in terms of depth. And Beterbiev sits on top for me. Bivol, yeah, he is up there, but like Beterbiev for me is number one. I think he can go on the pound-for-pound list. I do. Maybe in the lower half, but for me, he's in there. And I think that he's going to win this weekend as well. Harvey is saying he's got Beterbiev in the 6th round. I can see that. I think Joe Smith Jr. is going to come to fight, man. Beterbiev has shown a bit of vulnerability before. We saw that against Callum Johnson. But, look what he did when he did get dropped. I could see this going the same way. I could see Joe Smith maybe having his moments. He's going to come out there. He's a big light heavyweight. He's strong. He can punch as well. So he could trouble Beterbiev. But for me, I know he's 37 now. So he is getting older. But does he really look that bad? Does he really look his age? Because look in his last fight, what he did. He lives a clean life. I think that Beterbiev, man, he hasn't shown much slippage to me. So I think that he's going to beat Joe Smith Jr. at the weekend. I think that it will be a stoppage. I'm going to say the 8th round, Harvey. I think that Joe Smith Jr. will hang in there, but it could be one of those where he's getting a lot of punishment. He's too brave for his own good, and the corner just step in and just say, "Look, enough." I could see that happening, but we'll see. I'm really looking forward to the fight, man. I am. Ash is saying here, I kind of answered your question, Ash. He said, "What am I looking forward to most this weekend?" Definitely Smith versus Beterbiev, man. I think he knows that too. Nathan Gorman is coming back. We could touch on Nathan Gorman as well, but Nathan Gorman, Nathan Gorman's only 25 years old, man. Like the guy looks about 30, but he's only 25, so he's still got a long way to go in his career. Lost to Daniel Dubois, a little bit of the luster, a little bit of the shine went off after he lost to Dubois, because before that fight, he was talking it up. He was talking it up, saying he was going to do this and that. Never happened. Spoke about that sparring session that he had with Dubois. Said he was beating him up all over the ring, all that stuff. You guys remember. In the fight, it was a bit of a whitewash. Wasn't even close. Since then, his stock kind of dropped a little bit, Nathan Gorman. But he's still got time on his side to do something. What do you guys think his ceiling is? Nathan Gorman, what do you think his actual ceiling is? Like, where can you see him going in his career? Get some water, man. I swear, like, I've still got a bad throat. Beterbiev is one of my favorites. He is. DS has said late stoppage. Harvey says here, where is he on your pound for pound list, Daryl? I think I had him like 9, I think. 8 or 9, Beterbiev. Yeah. I did a pound for pound list video, but that's probably going to need updating. That was like a few weeks ago. I'm probably going to have to update that again because so much has happened in the last few weeks. Yarde is actually, he's going to be there. He's going to be in the building. It was confirmed that he'll be there to watch it. He's going to be ringside. Obviously, he's due a shot at the winner of Smith and Beterbiev. Ash is saying here, Yarde thinks going 1-1 with Arthur, fighting cans and being inactive will help prep him for Beterbiev. Kovalev 2.0 pending. I like Yarde a lot, man. You know, he's a cool guy, really nice person. Been on the channel before, so I'm not going to say anything too bad about him. But I agree with you in terms of the preparation. He could have definitely had an interim fight from that fight up until now. Because when was that fight with Arthur? December, right? Was it November, December, that fight? You know, we're in June now, mid-June, 6 months. Haven't had a fight since then. And then you're going to jump in straight with probably going to be Beterbiev. I know he's going to be 37, but he's 37 now. But I don't know. He's still fresh, Yarde, though. He's young. You know, well, he's what, in his 30s, 31 now, maybe. It's a tall order, man. It's a real tall order. But listen, fair play to him, man. He seems like he's serious about it. He's going over there, wants to call out the winner. But it's a tall order, bro. Like, Beterbiev, bro. Like, I don't know. Maybe you guys might think I'm overrating him, but I just think the guy don't get his flowers as much. But it's because, yeah, he's not going to be, like, loud and bashful. He just goes in there, does his job, and goes home. Do you know what I mean? But Beterbiev is one of the top for me. Harvey says here, the lower half of my pound-for-pound list looks like Estrada number 7, Jamel 8, Shakur 9, Bivol 10. Would you swap Bivol out for Beterbiev? I mean, Bivol did beat Canelo, so like I get it. I guess you can make an argument for both, but for me, I had Beterbiev above Bivol, so yeah, I would. For me personally, DS has said here, I like Yarde, but I'd wait for Beterbiev to start aging before I go anywhere near him. And Ash said here, December, Beterbiev won't fight until November, December. So imagine that. So Yarde's last fight was in December. Ash is saying here, and that would be a whole year if he was to wait. And then going in there with Beterbiev after you haven't been in the ring for a year. It's asking a lot, man. It's a real. I would like to have seen him had an interim, like a tune-up, at least a tune-up, just to keep yourself, you know, like ticking over. But yeah, that's going to be a tall order. Are you guys giving Yarde any? I mean, listen, I don't want to say anything bad about Yarde, man, but are you guys giving him how much of a chance you giving him in this fight against either man? Let's say Joe Smith Jr. gets the upset. I fancy his chances against him a lot more, but it's tough, man. Light heavyweight is real tough. Let me pull up these rankings here at light heavyweight, man, so you guys can see. We'll go to the Ring magazine, my favorite publication, and like stream I'll stream the rankings at light heavyweight right now so you guys can see who's who and who's where. Share screen. Apologies if I keep coughing, man. Okay, so they've got Bivol above Beterbiev now. Interesting. They've got Bivol above Beterbiev. That champ spot is still vacant. That basically means that, you know, there's no consensus number one. But for me, Beterbiev is the number one for me. But, like, I get it. Bivol, he got a good win over Canelo. So they've pushed him up to number one. Beterbiev, number two. Joe Smith Jr., number three. That makes sense to me. Where is... it's not in there. Okay, right. Zerdo, number four. Callum Smith, number five. Interesting. He hasn't... I think he had one fight light heavyweight. He had one, didn't he? Where he knocked the guy out. It was just like a run out, really. But I think Callum Smith is supposed to be coming back on the AJ Usyk rematch. He's going to be on that bill. So I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to be fighting anyone of note. But yeah, he's number five. Interesting. Marcus Brown, still number six. Beterbiev, yeah, beat the hell out of him. Absolutely battered Marcus Brown. Joshua Buatsi, number seven. Yarde, number eight. Borderleek, number nine. John Pascal, number 10. I don't know how Pascal still managed to find his way on there. So yeah, for me, these are clearly the top three. Well, I mean, Zerdo's got a chance to be up there. I mean, I guess if he was to fight Joe Smith Jr., many people would pick Zerdo to win that, but it's not cut and dry for sure. But yeah, for me, Beterbiev should be number one. Bivol number two. Either way, one or two, it's pretty clear who they are. They're the two best, really, by far for me. These other guys here, Yarde, I would have liked to have seen him in there with someone. That fight with John Pascal would have been interesting. That fight between Yarde and John Pascal, that would have been. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. But yeah, it's not looking like Yarde's going to fight anyone until, you know, that world title shot is confirmed. But get it, they're protecting their asset. But, you know, to not fight for a year and then jump in there with someone like Beterbiev, who has been active. Well, he would have been in the ring maybe twice since you've been in the ring. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not the best idea, but it is what it is, man. We'll see how the fight goes this weekend. DS has said here, after a fight, after he fights Beterbiev, Yarde will never be the same. Even if he were to somehow win, I'd swerve that one for, yeah, bro. I rate you going after him, but I just think Beterbiev's a monster, man. I do. I just think that's a real, like, Kovalev was out of his prime. Do you know what I mean? And let's be real, man. Kovalev, he was winning nearly every round against Yarde, man. He was. Yarde's learned a lot since then. Do you know what I mean? But he did get outboxed by Lyndon Arthur before beating him in the rematch. Looked very impressive. But Beterbiev's just different level, bro. Even at 37, just different level. Ash is saying here, Yarde has a better chance of beating Beterbiev. I'm guessing you're saying that because of the age. But for me, I ain't seen much slippage in Beterbiev. I get it, but I haven't seen that much slippage in him. I haven't, even at this age. But people are going to wait for him to get on because Father Time catches up with everyone eventually. Do you know what I mean? So shout out to Yarde. He's going to be out there ringside. I wonder how he's going to approach it. Is he going to go in the ring? Is he going to, do you know what I mean? Is he just going to, I don't really see Yarde as a confrontational type of person, man. He does keep it respectful. So I don't think he'll be that kind of guy. But, you know, he is going there for a reason. He wants to put himself out there that I'm going to be challenging the winner. So good luck to him. Fair play to him. Going to be a good fight on Sky this weekend, man, for sure. Back to Nathan Gorman, who is in action this weekend as well. My question to you guys was the ceiling for Nathan Gorman. 25 years old, lost to Daniel Dubois. He, how many fights has he had since he lost to Dubois? Nathan Gorman. We'll get him up as well since we're here. But that fight against Dubois was a demoralizing loss for him because he was talking it up big time. British title fight as well, I remember at the time. And yeah, he talked his way up there and he got a bit of a pasting from Dubois, man. So is British level really the highest level we can go for Nathan Gorman? As you can see here, lost to Dubois in 2019, 13th of July. Since then, obviously, we have had the pandemic. Fought Richard Lartey. Yeah, I remember that fight. That was an awful fight. He won a unanimous decision there. Yeah, that was an awful fight. That was, man. Let me snooze that. And then Pavel Sauer, second round knockout. That was over a year ago. He really needs to be more active, Nathan Gorman, man. But yeah, he is fighting this week. I'm not sure who the guy is, but yeah, I guess for me, can you see him getting to European level? World level's definitely a stretch. Too much of a stretch. Can you even see him getting to European level? I don't think so. I don't know. Like, I'm not, obviously, I can't forecast the future. But from what I've seen, it seems like British level could be the highest ceiling that he can get to. Yeah, it's an IBF like international heavyweight title that he's fighting for this weekend. But yeah, let me see what you guys think about Nathan Gorman. Ash said here, British champ for Gorman. Him and Wardley is the fight to make. That's what they're talking about. Him and Fabio Wardley. Yeah, good fight. There's a lot of good fights out there for him. Even if he was to listen, it's still an achievement to make any level. There's some good domestic fights that can be made. Hopefully politics won't get in the way. Josh Kelly's also going to be on that show. He needs to get himself back out there. He was supposed to fight a few weeks ago. That never happened. But Josh Kelly is fast becoming, we're kind of not really, he's not really as much of a mention as he was before. After that loss to Avanesian, we haven't really seen his name ring out that much at all. So he needs to get himself back out there, get a good win under his belt, and then, try and move forward. He's in the light middleweight division now, isn't he? So, yeah, some interesting fights this weekend, man. I'll be tuning into both. Obviously, I'm looking forward to Smith and Beterbiev more than Nathan Gorman. But that will be Friday night, Channel 5, I believe. So make sure you guys tune into that. One more thing before I go. I wanted to talk about this whole Julius Francis situation, man. Yeah, I know you guys have all seen it. I put a poll out on my Instagram page. If you guys are not following that page, check that out. I'm pretty active on there as well as Twitter. So on the Boxing Lowdown, it's just called the Boxing Lowdown, one word, I think. But on there, I put a poll out and I wanted to ask, did you think it was a bit excessive what Julius Francis did to that guy? Me, I said no. I only put the poll out there because, a couple of people that I do know thought that it might have been. But, since that whole video went viral, it's gone out. Julius Francis has avoided police charges and it's not looking like that any more action is going to be taken from that, which I'm happy about. I'm sure 90% of the boxing public were happy about that as well. Listen, man, you chat shit, you get banged. Do you know what I'm saying? And this guy, apparently, I think DS was telling me this guy was doing the most inside the building before he got kicked out. From some sources that were in there, he was being a real nuisance. And you saw how much of a nuisance he was being outside of the bar as well. It is what it is, man. Glad to see that the Box Park CEO was backing Julius Francis as well. I've seen Julius Francis in person, man. Guy's huge. He is a heavyweight, a big guy, but his hands are absolutely huge. So I felt that one for that guy, man. I felt that one. But yeah, personally, me, I felt that like there was no issues there. I'm glad he's not going to get charged by the police or anything like that. And I don't think excessive force was used. I thought that, it is what it is, man. You run up your mouth, you run into the wrong one. That sort of stuff can happen, man. We were talking about it the other day with AJ and those kids. Obviously, AJ didn't put hands on those kids, but like they were chatting shit to him from their dorm. He went in there and approached them. And one day you're going to come across the wrong one. Do you know what I mean? You're going to come across the wrong one. And, your mouth is going to get you into some shit that you didn't bank on. So, listen, it does happen. Pretty funny, the whole clip to me. But, yeah, we'll get Laurie's views on that as well. We're on the show on Monday. But, yeah, just my quick thoughts on that, man. I thought I'd touch in on and give you guys my thoughts on it because, it was being spoken about by everyone in boxing, the boxing world, not just the boxing world, but people in general. So, yeah, just my quick thoughts on that. But listen, I'm going to wrap it up here. 45 minutes in, my throat is killing me, man. Like, I've still got some sort of cold, flu, flare. I don't know if it's the hay fever thing or what, but talking for this long, 45 minutes straight, is just like, I don't know how good that was for my throat, man. So I'll leave it here, guys. We'll be back on Monday. Let me know. I see some of the comments and the feedback here. they do like the format of doing a Monday and a Thursday. That seems to work pretty well. We'll get obviously my pups on a Monday, and then on the Thursday, I'll see if I can get a guest, or I'll just jump on quickly and talk about, whatever we need to talk about, man. So shout out to all of you guys, man. Thank you all for joining. I appreciate you joining every single live. I really do appreciate it, guys. And look out for the next one on Monday. And leave any feedback at all, any sort of feedback. Just feel free to drop it in, and we'll catch up with you guys soon, man. So have a good evening, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace out.